The Knicks just finished playing their season debut against the Boston Celtics, and we are here to cover all things Knicks from Knicks Digest. We got our boy Chris in the building, your boy Dariel's in the building. But before we move on to today's video, I want to remind you guys that if you guys are watching this video, I want to remind you guys to subscribe. If you guys take a look here, the ratio from subscription to not subscribe, we want to get that up. So please remember to smash that subscribe button, and let's get the Knicks Digest blown up. All right, so now moving into today's video, my guy Chris, we just finished watching the Knicks play. I want to get your overall takes, your overall feelings about the game. Were you happy with what you saw on the floor? Is there something that you saw that maybe you want them to work on? Anywhere you want to go, my boy.
I mean, obviously, I'm not exactly happy with what happened because the Knicks lost, and it was a game that felt very winnable throughout. The Knicks defense was good. I really liked how they played defensively outside of the way that they guarded Porzingis. Tatum gave us 34 points, 13 for 22 shooting, 3 for 8 from 3. Also, he's Jason Tatum. That's what's going to happen. He exploded in the third quarter. He was tremendous. He got his shot rolling, and he just gets to the paint with ease. But really, what it was is just Randall and Brunson did not play like Julius Randall and Jalen
Horrible
Brunson.
game.
Yeah, I mean, Randall looked abysmal. There's a fan base out there that hates Julius Randall and will never stop hating Julius Randall no matter what he does. He could win the Knicks the championship. They would hate him. It's I understand why they do in a way, but also I think it's sort of ridiculous. And those haters are going to be out tonight because 14 points. He did have 11 rebounds, 7 assists, so not the worst game ever, but 5 for 22 and 3 for 8 from 3. Just that means he went just 2 for like 15. Just an ugly game.
The team,
I'll
the
flip
team in general messed up with the free throws. They just missed so many
the
damn free throws, man.
4 for 26 from the free throw line. But yeah, go into it. What'd you see? What'd you see? What
Listen,
do you like? What do you
so
not like?
so the what the biggest thing that took away from me is that I took away from the game. There was a the second half. There was a lineup. I remember it was quickly. I think Hartenstein, Barrett. I think Dante DiVincenzo was in there, and I forgot who the fifth person was. But it just seemed like it was such a struggle to put the ball in the hoop, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Everything felt like a struggle, and then Boston came down the floor, and then all you see is Jason Tatum doing a little, getting in his bag and doing like a in and out dribble, and he's able to pull up from three. Kristaps, like you said, is looking like the second coming of friggin' I don't know Michael Jordan against the Knicks, and I don't know, man. It's just there's something about this team where it just feels very, very forced. It feels very, very hard in order to get a bucket,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know exactly what. It's only game one. Obviously, we need to chill out. But me and you were basketball enthusiasts, so we like to dissect the game. But it's only game one of 82. We're not gonna go crazy. But it feels more of the same from last season. It just feels like more of the same.
We are basketball enthusiasts, but also we're basketball fans and we're Knicks fans. So we are going to overreact to the first game, especially when it's a high pressure, nationally televised opening game against the Boston Celtics, where we all remember 2 years ago when there was an epic showdown that went to double overtime that the Knicks ended up winning. And the Knicks had a horrible season that year. We all remember that game, and we're going to remember this game the entire season too. Whether it's going into the playoffs, if we see the Celtics or not, we're going to remember this loss. And you're absolutely right. There's just sometimes a struggle for the Knicks to put the ball in the basket. And the only way that that is not the case is what we saw in the playoffs, which is if Jalen Brunson is going to play like an absolute superstar, that is the way for the Knicks to not look like that because they have really one, maybe two, counting quickly, pure shot creators on that team. And sometimes Randall can do it, but Brunson needs to be consistent in order for the Knicks to have an offensive game whatsoever, it feels like.
One positive thing that I did see from this game is actually a coaching tip for Coach Tibbs.
Mhm.
So shout out Coach Tibbs. I believe it was in the first half. It might have been towards the end of the first quarter or the end of the second quarter. Brunson and Randall were really, really struggling, and the second bench unit is the unit that got them back into the game. And I noticed that Coach Tibbs he left Randall and Brunson on the bench for a while. The only question I had, I'm not sure if it was part of a substitution pattern or if Tibbs was like, okay, these guys they kind of it looks like they don't have it tonight, so let me just ride these guys. Let me see what they got off the bench. I'm hoping that it's the latter because if it's the latter, it's letting me know that Coach Tibbs is he's opening his eyes a little bit more to not just riding Brunson and Randall, like heavily riding them, putting so much on their
Yeah.
shoulders. But yeah, that was something that I really noticed, and I was like, damn, Brunson's on the bench for a while, and Randall's on the bench for a while. So hopefully his coach Tibbs maybe like realizing that like don't ride Brunson and Randall so much. But I mean, game one of 82, like we just said, we're gonna see more games down the line, and we'll see. The things will get exposed more and more throughout the season.
I mean, objectively, Quickly had the best game.
Hundred
He
percent.
played tremendous basketball up and down the court. He was great defensively. He was great offensively. Something I would like to see that I saw though is I would want Quentin Grimes to just get more opportunities. What we saw was similar to what we saw in his great game against the Celtics. All but one of his shots was a three-pointer, except this time he only took 7 shots. He went 4 for 7, 3 for 6 from three. He had 11 points in 23 minutes. It was not a bad game at all. He hit a huge three, that end one three. Unfortunately, he didn't sink the free throw, and that was really the main problem with the night is that no one did. But I want to see Quentin Grimes get a few more looks. And speaking just on shots very quickly, something I like is that RJ Barrett only took 5 threes when he took 20 shots. That is a huge upgrade for RJ. He needs to work inside more. He's great at it. And one other thing I saw was just that the Knicks are playing drop coverage on shooters like Al Horford and like Kristaps Porzingis. Those guys combined for 7 of the Celtics' 12 made threes tonight. That is the difference maker, along with the shooting free throws and Brunson and Randall playing badly. Mitchell Robinson plays drop coverage to protect the rim, but he completely overdoes it sometimes. And I don't know, maybe it's a systematic thing because he used to block all the jump shots, and now feels like he's just never out there and he's letting centers shoot. So whether that's a coaching thing or just our player personnel thing, something has to change because those pick and pops killed us tonight.
And as a wrap up, I just want to throw up the stats for the starting five for the Knicks. You take a look here. We got field goal made, field goal attempts. Julius Randle, like Chris, you said a little earlier, 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Mitchell Robinson is notoriously known for a bad free throw shooter. He only had 2 free throws, but he was 0 for 2. Brunson only went to the line once, it says.
Yeah, it was a technical
It
foul.
was a technical foul, and he missed it. The free throws is interesting though because the free throws is what makes me it makes me aware of how aggressive the player is. Now there's gonna be inconsistencies with referees calling them, but it's a good gauge into seeing how aggressive the player is. Barrett went to the line 7 times, 6 of 7. He was one of the brighter spots on the free throw lines. Quentin Grimes went to the line once. 0 for 1. Before we sign off, I just want to remind you guys one last time, if you're watching a lot of content on the Knicks Digest channel, subscribe. We're coming out with videos, and now that the season started, the videos are going to be coming out more and more. We're going to be talking about everything from injuries to coaches' remarks to substitution patterns for all that stuff. And you can see here, about 80% of you are not subscribed, and about 20% of you are subscribed. So please hit that subscription button, and let's get Knicks Digest rocking. You heard? All right.
Let's go.
Chris,
Knicks Digest to the moon, baby.
Chris, appreciate you hopping on, man. So until next time, we'll see you guys on the next video.